Hey nerds, and welcome to Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd. So this week on Supergirl, we had the episode Ace Reporter, and we met another character who does come from the comics, who turns out to be a villain. He's not a huge character from the comics, but it was an interesting character because it did give us some backstory and really kind of helped flush out Lena Luthor a little bit more. But first, let's talk about some of the highlights of the episode. First highlight, Snapper Car. I feel like they made him a pretty big jackass this episode. Am I wrong? I mean, I get what they were doing. They wanted him to give Kara the cold shoulder to try and kind of push her, I guess, but I don't know. It just felt a little forced because it was out of place. I don't know. It felt off to me. But what did you guys think about that? I don't know. His interaction with her at the press conference was really rough, I felt. But that being said, Mon-El was the other highlight from this episode, and he was fantastic. He wasn't in it much. They didn't overuse him, but he was great. Loved him. Loved his pickpocketing Jack to get his key card. It was just a great episode for him. Then again, on the other hand, we had the whole Guardian stuff, and they're really trying hard to just find a place for Jimmy in this world. And once again, I just don't, I'm not feeling the Guardian stuff yet, but hopefully there's a payoff coming. That it's not just filler for the episode, because that's really what it was. But that's maybe just me. Moving into the episode, the next thing to talk about, though, is Spherical Industries, and Biomax. Now, Jack Sphere, the CEO of Spherical Industries, and Biomax do come from the comics. In the comics, though, Biomax was more of a kind of a plasma-type creation that he was using to really enhance food production and really kind of take control over how that worked. And the idea was that you could, get cows to full-grown size in like a week. You could really streamline the agricultural industry, things like that. And it seemed like it was going to work, just kind of how in the show the nanobots seemed like they would be a viable medical, method of healing people. But it turns out that some people actually got sick from this process, and instead of canceling what he was doing, basically it led into a conflict with Black Canary and Green Arrow, and he was accidentally pushed into a vat of the Biomax plasma by his son, Jason. So he was presumed dead, but it turns out he actually kind of merged and became one with the Biomax plasma and became this kind of cloud monster. That's the best way to describe how he looked in the comics. But it gave him the ability to control people, kind of taking control of their minds and bodies. And that's similar to what we saw in the episode where his assistant took control over him because she was able to control the nanobots. He used this ability to control his son and essentially take control of the company. And he was one of these villains who just wanted his company to succeed. He didn't have any ulterior motives of world domination or anything. But he was found out by Green Arrow and the Power Company, which was a kind of a group of mercenary-type heroes that had been hired by his company to protect it. They found out what was going on, and he willingly kind of turned himself in. So a little bit different, but the similarities are there. The Biomax nanobots and whatever, allowed for that kind of mind control, and that's what his assistant and the CFO was going for. So she had a similar motivation to Jack and Biomax in the comic, where she just wanted the company to succeed and be financially successful. So that's that character. Really, I think the more interesting stuff from him was kind of seeing more of Lena's backstory and getting more on her, because I think that's going to be important, especially leading into the next episode. And that takes us to the other big kind of mystery is, what is Mon-El's mom going to offer her? What kind of business deal is that? You know, I've been racking my brain, and all I can think is she's going to somehow come to her with like alien technology and try and spin it in her own way. Maybe using her resources to try and get at Supergirl or Kara, but I honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I bet you this is how Kara is going to be exposed to Lena, is through Mon-El's mom. So that's the kind of biggest thing that I see happening. But what do you guys think? What do you think of the episode, and what did you think of the villain of the week? And what is Mon-El's mom, Rhea, what is her ultimate goal? So let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out my other theories and my weekly show. You can find it on iTunes and on my website at goodnerdbadnerd.com. So until next week, guys, I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd, and this has been Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies.